So where we left off last time, we were talking about installment buying. So stuff that's really everyday life kind of stuff. And probably the hardest thing of the installment buying was talking about the minimum payment due, which is where we started out with our credit cards. And then we dealt with this idea right here that there are two ways that credit cards are going to calculate how much interest that you are going to be charged on your next statement. And so we went through what is the quicker way to calculate the interest, and that is called the previous balance method. And that says that in addition to whatever charges you make for a month, your interest is based on the balance on the previous statement. So we did these two examples, and we saw that here the balance due at the beginning of the month was $275. So at the end of the month, when interest is calculated, the interest was based on that previous balance, no matter what else happens in the month. And I told you there's pros and cons to both of these. There's pros and cons to you. There's pros and cons to the credit card company. The nice thing about this is if you happen to make a big purchase during the month that you know that you're going to make payment on or you pay down, that you're not going to be charged the full interest on that. So that is kind of a pro to you. So the other way of calculating interest on a credit card is the average daily balance. I do not know which one's more common than the other, but I do know, again, if you read the fine print of any credit cards you have, you're going to see one of these two things is the way that the interest is calculated. So we're going to read through this problem. And then I'm going to show you, a picture that's going to help us understand how we're going to actually calculate this interest. So in example 5, we're going to work this one together. It says the balance on Brenda's credit card account on July 1st, which was the billing date, was $375.80. So if we were, by the way, if we were using the previous balance method, that would be the amount we would use to calculate the interest. Okay, but that's not Brenda's card's policy. Then Brenda did the following things during the month of July. She made a payment of $150 on July 5th. The dates are important. On July 10th, she bought something from Amazon for $74.35. On July 18th, had her car repaired. July 28th, went to Olive Garden to celebrate the newly repaired car. Okay, so what we're going to do first, if we're going to figure out interest, we have to figure out the average daily balance for this billing period. Okay, notice the balance is going to be different amounts on different days. So what I did is I made a little table that represents the month of July. Okay, so here is the month of July. You don't have to memorize this. I'm just showing this to you for visual. We're told at the beginning of the problem that Brenda's balance on July 1st was $375.80. And then we were told, if you're reading along with the problem, we're told on July 5th, she makes a payment. So according to this fairly simple, remember, simple is not easy. Simple just means it's not super detailed. According to this simple situation, Brenda's balance changes on the 5th. So it's $375.80, $375.80, $375.80, $375.80. Then on the 5th, it changes to $225.80. That's the payment that she made. Then nothing else happens on her credit card till the 10th when she buys something on Amazon. So now the balance is going to be $225.80, $225.80 until the 10th. So $225.80, $225.80 when it goes up. So what I've just done here is I've outlined what is the balance on each day. Because the way you calculate an average is you add everything up, right? So the average daily balance is the sum of each day's balance at the end of the day divided by the number of months. So what we would do if we had the time is we would go and we'd use our calculator, $375.80 plus $375.80, and we would do that. And then at the end, we would divide by 31. That's going to take us way too long. We're not going to do it that way, but I just wanted to show you what the average daily balance is by looking on the calendar. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of shorten this a little bit. So calculating the average daily balance, here's how it's going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, the balance started out as on July 1st. On July 1st, the balance started out as $375.80. Here we go. How many days does the balance stay 375.80? Now we can look on my calendar, but you're probably not going to have a calendar when you do your problem. So let's count it up. It stays 375.80 till July 5th. So that is July 1st, July 2nd, July 3rd, July 4th. How many days is that? Okay, 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 375.80 and we're going to multiply by 4. We'll come back in a little while. We will do the actual calculator work. I'm not concerned about that right now, but now we're going to see. According to the problem, the next thing that happens is on July 5th, a payment is made. So the balance changes on July 5th. I'm going to use my calculator to determine what the new balance is going to be. So if I make a payment, that means that my amount goes down. So the 375.80. I'm going to subtract 150 from it. I got to turn the calculator on first. Let me do that. Okay, 375.80. Then I'm going to subtract the 150. And that means the new balance is 225.80. Well, how many days is it 225.80? So it doesn't change to the 10th. So here we go. July 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. How many days is that? 5. I know you can read my fingers, but I like you to verbalize. Again, all I'm doing now is I'm just counting up what I did for you on this little demonstration where I've already done this. So the next thing that's happening is on the 10th. The balance, or no, we just did the 10th. No, the next thing that happens is on the 10th. So here we go, July 10th. On July 10th, Brenda makes an Amazon purchase of $74.35. So to the balance, I'm going to add $74.35, and that means my new balance is going to be $300.15. Well, it stays that way till the 18th when Brenda has to take her car in to be repaired. So here we go. I'm just going to count up the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. And that's going to be 8 days. On July 18th, the balance changes because the car blew out. So I'm going to take that $300.15 and I'm going to add to it the $123.50. And that turns out to be a new balance of $425.65. And I'd just like you to take a minute and propose to me, how many days are there from July 18th where the balance changed up until the balance changes again? So July 27th is the last day that it's at this balance. It changes on the 28th. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to propose how many days that's going to be. All right, so here we go. 18th. So we start 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's 10 days. And then last but not least, the balance changes on July 28th. Brenda's billing period goes till August 1st. That's when the balance is going to change again, regardless of whether she uses the card or not, because that's when the interest gets paid. So now July 28th, how many days? Oh, hang on, let me do the addition. So now we're going to add $42.50 to this amount. So it's $468.15. And then write down how many days, 20 seconds, write down how many days that's going to be. So that's the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. That's the last day. There are 31 days in July, so that's 4 more days. Oh, well, I'm not wearing my glasses. Does that did I get that wrong? Does that confirmation that that's 423 something? All right. Sorry about that. Good job, Perkster. Can't seem to get a video right in this class now. So 423.65, you said?
423.55.
Yep, and then that means that the last amount is going to be 466.15. Okay. Doesn't change the number of days though, so that's good. All right, so all we've done, I'm not trying to overcomplicate this, I'm just trying to save you a little time. Instead of having you draw out a little chart and count up the number of, or add all these values, all 31 values up, I'm just trying to use multiplication to save us a little bit of time. So now we're going to go through, if I have the ability to use this calculator, which seems to be in doubt, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the multiplication of each of these, and we're going to get what the total amount is. So for instance, the first one is 375.80 times the 4 days. So 375.80 times the 4 days, and we get 1,503.20. And I'm just going to keep going through the busy work. The average daily balance, I think once you see what's going on, is not super hard. It's just a little bit of busy work. So the next one, it's 225.80. And it's like that for 5 days. So that's going to be 1,129. And then we've got $300.15 times 8. And that's going to be $2,401.40. The next one is one of the ones I got wrong. So it's 423.65 times 10. So that's going to be $4,236.50. And then last but not least, we're almost done. We're getting there. 466.15 times 4 is equal to 1,864.60. Last thing we're going to do, this is the sum of the amount of money for each of those individual sets of days. The last thing we're going to do here, and then we're done with the big bulk of the busy work, we're going to add up those values. So I've got 1,503.20. Please confirm, because I have large fingers and I often hit the wrong button, as you've seen in this class. If I did everything right, and if I get confirmation, that's $11,134.70. And what we've just found right there is that is the total for all days in July. So the answer to the A part. What is the average daily balance? Well, the average daily balance is that total for all the days in July. I haven't heard anybody object to that total, so I think my large fingers were able to do that. We're going to divide that by 31. And that's going to turn out to be $359.18. That's the average daily balance for the month of July for Brenda as she's using her credit card. That's what her interest is going to be based on. So the average daily balance has a little bit more busy work. Sorry about that. I am going to put one of these on the test, but I know it's busy work and they take time. So there's just going to be the one, okay, for you to calculate the average daily balance of. The B part says, okay, determine the finance charge to be paid on August 1st, Brenda's next billing date. I think we need an interest rate, which I didn't give you. So this is continuing my really good work that I did last time. So let's just say that Brenda's interest rate, because we're not told that in the problem, let's say that Brenda has a 1.28% per month interest rate. So then the interest is going to be the principal times the rate times the time. Simple interest. Your credit card is just based on simple interest calculated each month. So the principal in this case is that average daily balance. The rate I just gave you is 1.28%, so that's 0.0128. And since that's per month, and we went 1 month, there we go, times 1. Yes, I know July has 31 days, but we just count that as 1 month when we're calculating the simple interest. So here goes. At long last, we're just about done. 359.18 times the 0.0128, and then times 1, which that's just going to be the same thing. It's 4.597, so that's going to be 4.60, meaning Brenda's getting charged $4.60 that month. So not too bad. So the last thing then is, what is the balance on August 1st? So this is similar to what you've already done. You did this for hopefully on your homework, or if you haven't started this homework, we did this as part of one of the problems we did last time. So the new balance, I'm going to write this down. You're not required to write this down. I know you can keep track of this on your calculator, but just so that when you're looking at your notes later, here's how you calculate the new balance. Starts off as 375.80. Actually, we've already done all this, so we've got a shortcut. We don't need to do this. We already know right here that on July 28th, the last thing that happened, Brenda's balance went up to 466.15. The only thing that we have to add on to this to get the new balance is that she has $4.60 worth of interest. And so what that makes is 466.15 plus the $4.60 is 470.75. Yeah.
Now, that's the balance, but not necessarily the minimum payment. It said balance due. Does it want us to find the?
No, I didn't want you to find the minimum
Okay.
payment, but that would be her balance due. That's the balance due means how much do you owe? So then, yeah, on your credit card statement, if you've ever looked at it, which I'm sure you have, there's the balance due box, but then there's usually they offset it in a different color, they shade it, and it says minimum payment. And then you could figure out the minimum payment according to whatever your credit card's constraints are for that. So the last problem for us for this, I'm going to give you 5 or 6 minutes to make as much progress. You can see that the big deal to the problem is doing that calculation. So exercise 6, the Andersons used their credit card. They had a balance of $1,578.25 on March 23rd, which was their billing date. Their billing date goes up through April 23rd. And there's the transactions that they have. So go ahead and figure out your average daily balance. And then if you have time, do the rest. That's fine as well.
For 31 days in March.
Yes. 31 days in March. All right, I know this is a bit of busy work, so I'm gonna get started, but you keep going. When you need to check in, go for it. All right, I'm gonna leave my numbers up there for a little bit so you can check what you did. If I made any mistakes, let me know. careless sometimes. I think I did okay, but we'll see. Then I'll just real quick talk through the process in case anyone is struggling with what happened. And then the rest of the problem takes 30 seconds. That's the big deal, the busy work right there. On the test, don't worry, I will make the numbers way more manageable to work with. This problem just has some realistic looking numbers. So if you disagree or you don't see why anything's a particular number of days, please let me know. That's why we're here. Okay, so the balance for these people's credit card starts off with the lovely amount due of $1578.25 on March 23rd. So now we need to know what is going to be the interest charged to this family after this month of living life on April 23rd, which is the next one. So again, this is not a previous balance problem. If it was, it's a lot quicker, as you can see. We just used that previous balance. Okay, but this one is an average daily balance. So here's what we've got. We start off with that $1578.25. It's like that for 3 days, the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Then they bought some party supplies, took the balance up to $1658.23. And that was like that from March 26th to 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. Okay, the balance doesn't change again until the 30th. So that's 4 days. Then on the 30th, they charged, they went to the Crooked Cam. So that brought their balance up to $1710.99. And again, starting from the 30th, the balance doesn't change again to April 3rd. So that's the 30th and the 31st. And then April 1st and April 2nd. That's 4 days. Then they finally make a payment on April 3rd and bring the balance down to $1460.99. And then when you count from the 3rd and the balance doesn't change to the 15th, that's 12 days. Okay, the 3rd through you're going to count the 3rd all the way up to the 14th. That's 12 days. Then they go to Kohl's, need some new clothes, brings the balance up to $1651.51. And from the 15th, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, that's 7 days. And then the last thing they do in this billing period is they brought all their cars to Jiffy Lube and brought the balance up to $1802.36. And that's on the 22nd. And since their interest is getting charged on the 23rd, that's their next billing date. That balance is only like that for 1 day, just the 22nd, because now it's going to change on the 23rd. So I went through all the multiplying, okay, which I haven't heard anybody say that I'm wrong yet. So that's a good sign. You're a pretty interactive bunch. So that gives me a total for all the days in this billing cycle of 49,106.44. I'm going to divide that by 31 because there's 31 days in March. And that gives me an average daily balance of $1,584.08. Again, that's all the busy work. That is 99% of the work of this problem is huffing and puffing until you get to the end of that. The rest of the problem is identical to the other problems, and it's just simple interest. Now we're going to determine the finance charge the Andersons are going to pay on April 23rd, assuming this interest rate. So it's just simple interest, principal times rate times time. So the principal is $1584.08. The rate is 1.35%, so 0.0135. And again, that's the per month, so times 1. And that turns out to be a grand total of $21.39. So then what is the final balance? Now, the one nice thing about the average daily balance is you've already figured out the balance at the end of the month after their last charge. It's 1802.36. So all we have to do for this one is add on the interest. And that means that their balance on April 23rd is the 1802.36 plus 21.39. And so that's 1823.75. That is their next balance. So they are on the upswing of spending. All right, so that is the gist of the average daily balance. That brings us to the end of section 10.4.